right, everybody, we are live for the first time, Triple T. So I had some time to kill, so I thought, hey, do my first live stream. Got my laptop. As you can see, I'm not in the truck. So I figured we would go ahead and I'd tell everybody what's going on with the truck, and that way you can get an idea. And it's not good. It could be worse, but anyway, I'm in North Carolina, and I met this guy through Facebook. Facebook has a Volvo Facebook page, kind of like a help group for other Volvo owners and stuff. And you also have a lot of mechanics that'll come in and give us advice, tell us, things that we can do, try to help us troubleshoot some problems and stuff like that. And that's where I met this guy at. I met him on the Facebook page, and he's been helping me out for the last year, And so this is the first time I actually got a chance to come and meet him and see if he's really as good as everybody claims he is on Facebook. So we got up here yesterday afternoon. We got unloaded a day early and came up here and talked to him for a minute. He's like, man, we're getting off work right now. He said, but we'll be in, in the morning. So I went ahead and found somewhere I could drop my trailer. Went in first thing this morning when they opened up, and it took them a little while because they had a lot of people. They were really wrapped up with business. So they finally got to me. They fixed a few things. They fixed the leveling valve. They fixed my airbags so they actually dump air instead of inflating. Ever since I've had the truck, every time I go to dump my airbags, they inflate. So they fixed that, and a few other little things with the EGR sensor up front. They did some things with that. And we were hoping some of these fixes would help and that would solve my problem, something cheap and easy. But that was not meant to be. So it's something a little bit more serious. Well, I'll tell you what, before I tell you what's wrong with it and everything and what we got to do to get it fixed and what all it's going to cost and all that stuff, I just want to acknowledge some of the people that, coming into the live stream and all. Pale Rider, Big Houston, Daniel Adami, Jason Perry, Chasing America, got to meet them the other day. They're really cool. Big Rig Radio Network. Hey, what's up, man? Honored to have you in here. You're a big time YouTuber. All right. Mike MF Miller, Nathan Galloway Senior, Gangster G-Way. He's one of my Landstar cohorts over here at Landstar. Let's see, Daniel Adami, I said him. I'm going to skip that one. Let's see, Spooby, Magic Mark, and one of my favorite people, Serena, Mrs. Blackbeard. I guess Anthony got tired and went to sleep, huh? White Lion Transport, Brandon Smart, a lot of people in here, more people than I thought would be in here. So I guess let's go ahead and jump into it, and I'll tell everybody what happened. Well, first let me explain to you what's been going on with the truck. It started back about 3 weeks ago when I was up in Kansas City. Y'all might remember I did the little spoof on YouTube that I was leaving Landstar going to FedEx, and I was pulling the FedEx trailer and everything. That was a joke. I wasn't really leaving Landstar. But anyhow, that's when it happened. On my way from Champaign, Illinois to Kansas City, Missouri, I got just about to Kansas City, and I started having issues with my soot level, wanting me to do a regen, a park regen. I stopped to do that, had some issues getting that done. Never could get the part regen to complete itself. So I took it to the Volvo place there in Kansas City, Missouri. They diagnosed it was a sensor, uh, differential pressure sensor, I think was one of them, wiring harness. They also replaced the flex pipe. Altogether, about $1,800 worth of work. And I got it out of the shop that afternoon or that night, went back to pick up my empty trailer and head back to Illinois. And that's immediately when the vibration started. I mean, like I got it out of the shop. As soon as I hooked to the trailer and started heading over this way, that's when the issue started. So I don't know, like I said, if they messed up something or what happened. But that's where they started looking today to try to backtrack to see if they could figure out what it was. Anyway, with no luck, finally they said, let's go ahead and check your fuel your fuel injectors. You have 6 of them in the Volvo, one for each cylinder, and they checked some other things. Don't get me wrong; they didn't just jump straight to the injectors. There's little tricks that you can try to pinpoint, if it's injectors or not. Like one thing, it would be you may have bubbles in your fuel tank when your truck is running. If you look down into your fuel tank, you see your return line. If you got bubbles coming out, there's a good chance you definitely got injector problems. So there was a few things like that they checked first before they went straight to taking it out. But eventually they checked everything and they were like, yeah, we're going to have to, pull them out to check them physically, So they got all 6 injectors out, laid them out, cleaned them up real good, and looked at them. And there was very noticeable wear around the bottom of the injector where it sits down in there. He called it chattering. It was around the bottom where the pin comes out. It was like it had been ground down, I guess the way it was riding in there. So he's like, yeah, you got 3 out of the 6 that need to be replaced for sure. And he said, you'd be better off just to go ahead and do a whole entire 6-pack, a little bit cheaper, and be done with it. You don't have to worry about doing this again later, So I said, yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and replace all 6 injectors. So I had spoken with him previously about this, and in case it was the injectors, just so I could try to ballpark how much it's going to cost me. And the quote that he gave me was $4,800, but I'm guessing I just rounded up to $5,000. And when you're that close, you definitely, figure it's probably going to be more usually than less, So I'm figuring at least $5,000 for parts and labor combined. So we'll see. I'm hoping this fixes the problem. If it doesn't fix the problem, I'm just going to have to drive it vibrating until whatever breaks on it breaks, and we know for sure then what it is, because I don't know what else to do. I mean, I've checked everything. We've checked the drive shaft, the U-joints, the carrier bearing's been changed out. The tires are brand new. So I just, I'm at the end of my rope. I don't know what else to keep checking, So that's where we're at with it now. Here, let me read a few comments, and then I'll go back and I'll tell you about what happened when I took the truck over to Dothan, Alabama. Dothan, Alabama, taking it to the shop over there to get it fixed, was in between Kansas City getting the regen stuff fixed and some things that they found wrong with the truck that they didn't fix just because we didn't have time. I needed to just get the truck running so I could get my butt back over to Illinois because I had to pick up a load over there the next day. So I had to get back. And so I told them just fix it where I can drive it, and then I'll worry about with the other stuff when I get back home. So that's basically why I went over and took it to Dothan, that and the vibration too. But there was 2 separate issues that they were working on in Dothan. And I'll get into that in just a second. I'll tell you about that. I'm just going to go back and read a few comments. Let's see. What we got? Let's see. Sean Owen Hola from Knox Vegas. I'm not sure where that's at. White Lion Transport misses the Duck Man. I know you do. I miss him too. I'm going to be putting out I'm going to pick him up as soon as I get the truck fixed. I got a load going back down to Georgia, and I'm going to try to get through there and pick him up. So he'll be back in the truck with me. I do have some video that my beautiful wife sent me of him playing and everything there at the house with the other dogs. And as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to try to put that up in one of my videos so y'all can at least see the Duck Man. See he's having fun at the house playing with his siblings. All right, so who else we got here? We got, Trucker for Life. Hope things get a little bit better for you, Bubba. I know you're having a rough time now, too. So we're both, trying to just make it through all this and get back on the right side of the good. White Lion Transport, FSU. Yes, left my FSU hat in the truck. So I should have brought it with me. I didn't think about it. Serena and Jason are blaspheming in here, so we'll let it slide this time. Chucky ain't no better. He's doing it too, huh? Okay, Brandon Smart. Okay, you're saying that you got someone to delete your DF system for $2,500. Okay, I'm going to tell you the good side and the downside of that. The guy that's working on my truck now, a lot of people will delete the regen systems in the Volvos and stuff, and it drives him crazy. He can't. It makes it so hard for him. Then, when they have another problem with the truck, when they bring it in, it's hard for them to diagnose it because they've had to delete so much of the computer programming in the truck and everything, and they can't get an accurate reading on what's wrong, with the codes and everything else. So he has to go back and take a computer out of another truck, put in this one, and he was telling me how all of it works, and he said it adds like 2 or 3 days of work to the job. But I understand people wanting to delete those, and I had seriously considered it myself. But for the most part, I think Volvo has a really good regen system in it, emission system. I think it works really good. That's the only problem I have. And then the components that they replaced were really old and wore out. So, the truck's got over 1 million miles on it. So you can, that was probably the first time those components have been changed, probably. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I understand White Line. Yeah. Fellow BCO brother. Yeah. Go. Yeah, a lot of bull crap. But, once you get everything fixed on the truck, hey, you got a new truck, right? That's what everybody thinks. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see. Craighead, have not talked to you in a long time, Bubba. I'm glad to see you in here. We miss you over on Zello. There's my buddy, Anthony Blackbeard. You made it in. I know now why you got out of this business, Anthony. I wish I could get out of it. I don't have nothing to fall back on like you did. So we miss you over here too, Mo. Miss seeing you in the Zello and everywhere else where we used to talk to you. Try to get in there more often. Miss seeing you out here on the road too. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you're right, Rob. It is expensive, but it's if you buy them individually, they cost $800 if you buy the injectors individually. So $4,800 would have just been for the parts if I was buying, doing it individually. But by buying a complete 6-pack, it gets a little bit of a discount. It helps cover the cost of the labor and everything. The discount will, so that'll work out pretty good. And this guy, like I said, works on Volvos a lot. I mean, he had one he had just finished fixing. He had another one he was rebuilding the engine on. And then there was another one that was in there today, right when we left. He stayed late. I went ahead and left, and he was still there working on that truck, trying to get some things squared away with it. And it was an older model Volvo. And so I think he knows Volvo's pretty good. And the issue I was having with my airbags like I was saying, my airbags when I would go to dump, they would fill up instead of dumping the air and lowering the chassis. So he spotted the problem with that immediately and fixed it in no time. And I've had at least 2 different mechanics look at that and not figure out how to fix it. And he fixed it like in 5 minutes. So yeah, I think he knows what he's doing. Roscoe's child. Have you thought about giving Bruce, John, and Ethan a call at Pittsburgh Power? I'll be honest with you, I haven't. I'm sure they probably do work on Volvos. But this guy here came recommended. I had several recommendations for him. And like I said, I've been talking to him for about a year now, and he really seems like he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though I was a little nervous today when I got there to the shop and everything, because it's not a fancy, big, shop with a driver's lounge and all this other stuff in it. And, so he's more old school, but he still knows what he's doing pretty good. Next gen, long time viewer, first time caller. All right. Let's see. Magic Mark. Did you check the flux capacitor? I did not, because if I had and I could fix it, we would travel back in time to November 2018, and we would not be sitting here right now. That's for sure. Little Viking Coach. Is the Pale Rider pregame show? Where are the cheerleaders? I don't know. I don't have any cheerleaders. But y'all, most of you folks know me, right? A lot of you guys have met me. So I can talk, right? So if I get to talking, do not let me go past 8 p.m. Central Time, because that's Pale Riders time. We got to get out of here in plenty of time to let everybody have a bathroom break, get their refreshments, and get ready for the big show tonight. Trust me, it's going to be a lot more fun than watching me. Let's see. Roscoe's Child. Have you thought about giving, sorry, wrong one. There we go. Do you feel the vibration in the feet and seat or steering wheel? Definitely in the throttle and in the seat. Also, the hood mirrors vibrate. As long as I'm accelerating, no vibration. I let off the throttle and let it coast, no vibration. I set the cruise control on anything above 62, and it starts to vibrate. Once it levels out and it's maintaining speed, it starts the vibration. So if I turn off the cruise, it starts coasting, it stops. Or if I go to speed up, it stops. So the only thing I can figure, it's got to be in the fuel somewhere or another, and I'm hoping this will fix my problem. So we'll see. All right, Blackbeard, I understand, brother. 2:30 does come early. It was good. I'm glad you was able to make it in. Jason Perry, how long will I be down? They said they will have me out of there tomorrow, probably. He said 3 o'clock, so maybe 5. Just because it's so hard for him to concentrate on just working on one truck, because there's so many trucks and phone calls. He's constantly on the phone, somebody calling him about this, calling about that. And so it's kind of like a restaurant, right? If you go to a restaurant and you walk in the door and it's 7 o'clock at night, and you and maybe one other person is the only ones in there, maybe there's a reason for that. So that same thing, my thinking with mechanics. If I went to that guy's shop and he's sitting around twiddling his thumbs, nothing to do because there's nobody bringing their truck in there to get it worked on, and he has plenty of time to work on mine, I'm thinking, how come you don't have more business if you're so good? So that makes me feel a little bit better when I see how much work he does have. While I was sitting there this morning, I think like 4 trucks came in less than 2 hours when I was there this morning, all needing to get worked on. And he already had 5 or 6 at least that they were working on. So, and it's just him and about 4 other mechanics, I think. There's not a whole lot of people that work there. So that makes me feel better knowing that, he's in such high demand. He's obviously a good mechanic because you wouldn't keep bringing your stuff back if he wasn't a good mechanic. And I'll give you a good example. The people over in Dothan, Alabama will never, ever, ever touch my truck again. And it ain't because they don't know how to do the work. I'm sure they do. They did a good job on the radiator, the air conditioner. They fixed that a while back. They've, and then the carrier bearing. And for the first time in a year that I've had the truck, the check engine light hasn't been on. So they fixed all that. They've redid the wiring. The oil doesn't leak, and they did everything that they were supposed to do. But I can't be down for 2 weeks, And every time I was taking it over there, I was down for 2 weeks. So I just, that and the debacle with trying to get them paid, their money paid, is just too much. I have to find somewhere else that I can go to. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Russell, about the driveline angles, and we checked all that out. The the U joints, everything else. I don't know if people know this, but you can actually have weights on the drive shaft, kind of like you do on a tire, to balance it, so it's balanced. So all that stuff checked out, and like I said, it I don't know. It's hard to explain. If you ride in the truck, you really get a sense of what's going on and where the vibration, you can feel the vibration. And it just didn't seem like it was something in the drive line, so everything they checked. Rob P., your fire story was crazy. Really good, terrible story. Yeah, that was an experience, I'll tell you. I almost didn't make it back out here after that one. Let's see. Oh, so we got the boss lady in here tonight, I see. Yeah, they were disappointed they didn't get to meet Ducky. Poor Condon. He was so disappointed. He was like, God, I can't believe I got to stand here and talk to this guy, and I don't even get to play with Ducky. What's up with that? No, I'm just joking. But, I got to get Ducky back out here. He'll be back out here in no time. Would I buy another Volvo? No. I love Volvo. It's a great truck, to have. I just don't have the patience for it, man, to be honest with you. I don't have the patience for all the emissions and all the computers and everything else. Is it a comfortable truck? Heck yeah, it is. Plenty of space, plenty of room, good smooth ride. The like I said, the emission systems is top notch. It's like I was saying with the oil leak. And let me go ahead and get into this right now, because before I forget about it. I know I probably missed some comments. If I did, I'm sorry. This Trucker's Life. Good evening. Good. Glad to see you in here, brother. So let me go over what happened when I took the truck to Dothan. I don't have the exact numbers, but I did look at the bill overall. It was just a smidge under 6,700. So I just say 6,700. But anyway, it was way more than 66. So it was closer to 67. But anyway, so when I went and took the truck to him, I said, hey, I got this vibration. I need to try to get that fixed. That's the top priority. That's got to get done first. And then let's check this other stuff out. And if we have the time and the money, I'll try to do that too, because that stuff needs to get done. So they said, okay. So they worked on the vibration thing. Well, when I took it over there, it was like on Monday afternoon. I went back Tuesday morning to check in with them, make sure they had everything they needed. And they said it'd be maybe Wednesday before they got it in the shop. It was actually Thursday. And they diagnosed it, and they gave me a list of things. It was like a cracked breather pipe. The oil actuators and the oil filter housing, all that had to be replaced. The wiring harness had to be replaced. Sensors had to be replaced. So because what was happening was it was leaking oil down onto all the electronics. If I didn't have all those electronics and I was just leaking a little bit of oil, it's no big deal. You just keep driving it. You add oil if you need to add oil. The thing about it is this truck did not leak so much oil that I had to add any oil. I get my oil changed between 10 and 12,000 miles every time, right? My PM and all. And filters, the works, lube the truck, grease the fifth wheel. I do everything. Check all the air pressures. I do everything when I do my, I do the ultimate at the TAs. So anyway, it never leaks so much oil that I have to add any, right? So it wasn't a lot of oil. It was just the fact that where the oil was leaking, it was leaking onto sensitive stuff, And so that's why all that stuff had to be fixed and replaced. So they did that, and that's what cost over $6,000. The carrier bearing, replacing that, and the U-joint, all that stuff, all that together was less than $500. It was the dadgum electronics, the wiring harnesses, all that crap that costs all the money. So that's what I'm saying, why as great as Volvo is, and I'd much rather have a Volvo than a Freightliner any day. When I talk to these mechanics over there, they're like, man, don't get no Freightliner. He said, you have to buy one box. Ooh, you're going to be in trouble. Yeah, I could get the injectors changed on this truck at least two times for what it costs for one box, So that I would definitely buy a Volvo over that. And I'm not a big fan of pack car. So, the Kenworths and the Peterbilts and everything they got out right now, and the emission systems that are in them compared to the ones in Volvo, I would definitely, if I had to pick a newer model truck, I would buy a Volvo. But right now, if I had to buy another truck, and I probably will before this is all said and done, down the road 2 or 3 years from now, maybe, and it'll be an older model truck that doesn't have the computers and the emissions and all that other stuff in it. I'd rather just go ahead and get one like that and not have to worry about it. And a lot of that stuff I can fix myself or at least diagnose the problem, I'm not going to do anything inside the engine, of course, but I'm saying, starters, alternators, all that kind of stuff. A lot of that I can do myself. But of course, getting inside the engine, you don't want to mess with that. So anyway, that was the deal over there in Dothan. So they did all of that work, got it, like I said, they got it fixed to where the check engine light doesn't come on. I don't get fault codes no more, and all that stuff is fixed, but they didn't fix the vibration. So if you take the money I spent on tires, I bought 4 new drive tires, I bought 2 new steer tires. I had a water pump that went out and a few other little things that they fixed on the engine. And just the water pump itself was over $500 just for the part. And so with the labor and some other things that they fixed that was on the truck, I think that was like $1,700 and then $1,800 for the regen the other day or last month when I was in Kansas City. $700, over in Dothan the other day. This is going to be another $5,000. And then the price of the tires, I get a great discount through Landstar. So the tires combined, I think, was, I want to say around $3,400, somewhere in there, for 2 steers and 4 drives. So all totaled, I'm probably looking at anywhere from $15,000 to $17,000, since the beginning of the year, and we're just now in mid-May. And I'm looking at already over $15,000, So, I mean, if you took all that money and my payments that I make on my truck at the end of the year, if you added up all my payments, it's less than $8,700. So I've already spent almost double what I spend per year on my truck payment. So And by the time the end of the year is over with all the PMs I probably have to do between now and the end of the year, it's going to probably be close to doubling what I paid on the truck. And that's if nothing else breaks on the truck between now and then. So I understand a lot of people. I have a really good friend, went to high school together, grade school, all that stuff. We rode the school bus together, a great guy. He owns a dairy and everything there in Georgia. And he's always asking me about buying a new truck. And I told him, I said, I love them. They're wonderful trucks. I just will not buy a new truck. I said, I can't see spending, $150,000 on a truck, no matter how nice it is. So, I told him, I said, he's like, why don't you get rid of this one and get you, a newer one or get something different? Well, right now, everybody that owns a truck, that the values of trucks has plummeted because we've had so many companies going out of business. And I think one of the biggest ones that's gone out this past year was, or within the last year, is Celadon, right? So they flood the market with trucks. And then you have other companies that are scaling back the number of trucks they have. So they're getting rid of trucks. And so there's so many trucks on the market right now. With the money I put into the truck, the money I borrowed to buy the truck and everything else, I'd be upside down like a pineapple upside down cake, The cherry would definitely be on the bottom for sure. But so that's why I don't want to get rid of the truck. I want to try to ride it out, and hopefully I won't have too many more repairs and everything that'll cost me all this money, because the engine was rebuilt. The rebuild on the engine has less than $170,000 on it. So theoretically, you would think I wouldn't have no issues with the engine, if things go like they're supposed to go. So I'm gonna try to ride it out. But he's always curious about the trucking industry, and I love talking to him about it. He's, like I say, he's a great guy. I've known him, man, a majority of my life for sure. But I told him, I said, if I do get another truck, and I probably will at some point, it'll probably be an older truck. And a lot of us guys were looking at trucks the other night, me and Jason and Snorlord and Chucky and all of us, we were looking at trucks and stuff. Our dream trucks, the big W9s and the Peterbilts and all those old school trucks. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a pipe dream right now, but, I can see it happening one day, getting a different truck. So I hope that answers Frank's questions. But I've had a lot of guys reach out to me and ask me if now is a good time to buy a truck and come to Landstar. And I tell them every time, I said, man, you ain't going to find a better time than right now. I said, you can buy a truck for almost nothing. I said, trucks are really cheap right now. I said, go buy your truck. And if you can weather the storm with the low rates, make it through, when you get to the other side and all this stuff is over with, you're going to be sitting pretty because you're going to have a good truck, most likely that you didn't have to pay a ton of money for, whereas a couple of years ago when things were doing great, the economy was doing great, truck prices were up a little bit, But then when companies started going out of business, the market got flooded with trucks. The prices have been steadily going down. And then with everything going on right now, with so many drivers being, laid off and everything else, with the economy the way it is, they're really getting cheap. Plus, fuel's getting cheap, right? So I think fuel is actually starting to go back up a little bit, though. But so yeah, I tell them, I say, yeah, now it's the perfect time to go buy a truck. If you got a little bit of money to put down, or you got some money set aside to pay your bills and everything, so you can get rolling good. And I've been talking to different guys, not just at Landstar, in other places, that they're seeing the rates pretty good. I mean, right now it's hit and miss with the rates. Some rates, I look at load board and I'll pull up how many loads are coming out of Atlanta, and I'll see 100 loads, right? And it's way more than that. But the only reason I see it only 100 is because I put in the minimum $2 a mile, right? When I say $2 a mile, it's actually $1.30 to me as the driver, because Landstar gets 35%. So it's actually $1.30 for me, and that's, I wouldn't haul a load for that amount, But I'm just saying, I put that in there just to get an idea how many loads there are in the area, paying that amount and up. So I put it in, 100 loads come up, and I start scrolling, and I'll see 5, maybe 10 loads that are paying between $2 and $2.25 gross. Then there's that big money load, $3 plus a mile, $4 a mile. I saw one on there today that was paying $11.92 a mile. Yeah, you're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, don't get excited. It was less than 200 miles. But still, think about that. That's over $1,000 to go 100 miles. Who wouldn't go 100 miles for $1,000? Heck yeah. And so yeah, you just have to look. Used to back in the day, 3 months ago, even 3 or 4 months ago, when you would scroll down, the majority of those loads would be over $2.50 a mile. Now the majority of them are below $2.50 a mile, and you have to really look for that one good paying load. But it's there. You just have to be patient and be able to pull it. So you can make it, that's for sure. And not just at Landstar. I mean, you just have to watch your money. There's a lot of guys out there I talk to that are really smart. Provost, Snorlord, Chucky over at Snyder. A lot of these guys, they really know what they're talking about. They manage their equipment and their business really good. So, now is not that bad a time really to buy a truck. So, but I'm not going to buy one. I'm sticking with the one I have for now. So, got to ride it out, and hopefully I'll be able to ride it out. And I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for my wonderful wife. She has a lot of patience and allows me to do this without slipping any rat poison or anything into my I used to say sweet tea, but I don't drink sweet tea anymore. I hadn't had no sweet tea in like 4 months. No sweet tea. That's amazing. I'm on the water. Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of water, so ice water. All right, let's read a few comments if we got time. Let's see. Chucky's like, I'm a failure. No, you're not, Chucky. You're doing super awesome. Let's see. I probably missed some things. Chucky. I think I offended Chucky. Chucky has a Freightliner, so he takes exception to my Freightliner comment. He said, if you take care of it, it'll last you. White Lion Transport likes the Cummins iX15. No, I don't own a Ferrari, little Viking coach. I wish I did. I don't know. I probably shouldn't. I wouldn't be able to fit in it. It's so tiny. Spooby, best thing about Pat Car is shade tree mechanics don't know how to even diagnose it. Best mechanics are at the dealerships anyway. Normally, you're right. Normally, you are right. A lot of dealerships have really great mechanics. And I'll give you a good example. I went up to Sikeston, Missouri, had a seal put in my transfer case in the back and everything where it was leaking. Man, they had me in and out of there in like less than 6 hours. And they knew what they were doing. They got it squared away in no time. It seemed like they fixed something else, but I can't remember now what it was. The one up there in Kansas City, they fixed that and got me in and out 6-8 hours tops, and they did a pretty good little bit of work, and they did a really good job. Shreveport, when I had my AC worked on, I got in there and out in no time, and they knew what they were doing. Daniel, the only Volvo he'll get is the Provost is on. Let's see. Who tried to talk you into buying a Volvo, Chucky? Was it me? I don't think so. Yes, Jason did stop by the house. I say by the house. He stopped by our hometown, Havana. Him and his wife take a 30-minute break and got a chance to hang out with him and talk to him. And he got to meet Ducky. So far, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. So far, Ducky has taken to everybody. Pale Rider, I think, is scared of Ducky, though, because Pale Rider never tries to pet Ducky. He just stands there real still. and lets Ducky go around sniff him and stuff. He just stands there, doesn't move. It was funny. But Blackbeard, it took him a little bit of time, 2 or 3 visits, I think, and then him and Blackbeard are like best buds now. Serena, I think gets along with him real good. And Jason, man, Jason, he came right to Jason, no problem at all. And even Daniel, when he met Daniel that time, he came to Daniel. So everybody we've met so far, he hadn't really had no real issues with, except one person. It's kind of funny. I don't know if I should say his name, but it's not Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Snore. But he's the only one I think Ducky's growled at or snarled at or anything. But I think it's because he's got that stick in his hand. Every time we've met Snorlord, he's had the selfie stick in his hand. So maybe it's the selfie stick that's scaring him. Maybe we have to try that different next time. Pale Rider says, I'm scared. He won't bite you, Pale Rider. He likes you. Let's see. Pale Rider TV Trucking was the same way when he met my pit bull. When I was with Central Hauling the first time, and Pale Rider TV Trucking didn't even get a shot. So, but man, I tell you, this has been a lot of fun. I really have. I've had a lot of fun being able to come in and talk to everybody and tell you what's going on with the truck. And I'm not crazy. I mean, I know a lot of people probably think I'm stupid for continuing to put money into the truck, but I have to ask, if you think I'm crazy for fixing the truck, trying to keep it running, explain to me what my options are. I can't go back to being a company driver because I'll still owe money on the truck. I still have to pay off the truck. I still have a loan at the bank I have to pay. I'm not going to go file bankruptcy and try to get out from paying the truck. That's not me. I'm not that kind of person. If I sign the dotted line to pay for something, borrow money for something, I'm going to pay for it. So I'll eventually pay this truck off, or either I'll sell it and pay it off that way, one or the other. But, I'm not going to renege on my what I agreed to do. So I don't really have a lot of options, I can't go trade the truck in and get another one because then I'll be paying for 2 trucks, but I'll only really have one because whatever I left owing on the truck, I'm not going to get enough on the trade-in to cover what's left owing on the truck. So then they're going to tack on whatever the difference is to the truck I'm buying. So it'd be like I'm paying for 2 trucks. So I don't really have a whole lot of options except to keep trying to put the money in the truck to get it going. And I've heard the argument that if the amount of money you're spending on fixing the truck is more than what a new truck payment would be, then you should just get a new truck. Yes, that's true. If you are consistently year after year spending that much money on maintenance, you should definitely. But there's going to be spells when you own a truck where you'll have to fix one thing and then boom, another one will break, and another one will break. So you'll have like 2 or 3 breaks, something go wrong right close together. I don't know. I can't explain, but that's normally how it works with me. When something breaks down, it's usually multiple things that have to be fixed before you finally get everything good and you're rolling smooth again. I can say it now because my truck's in the shop. I had about 6 good months where it was just smooth sailing, no major issues. And that was awesome, because I was able to put some money aside. Well, when I say put money aside, I mean pay off credit cards. I was able to pay down some credit cards, pay some off, and so that was good. And now I need that back. I have to take it back and get the truck fixed. But I know in my heart and my mind, just from 23 years of experience, I'm going to have another good run where maybe I go more than 6 months this time. Knock on wood, with no problems, And you have to keep hope. You can't get discouraged and just give up. And that's not what I'm going to do, because I don't want to go back to being a company driver. I have the freedom right now, financially providing, as far as I have the option to come home when I want to, if the bills are paid. If the bills aren't paid, of course, I have to stay out and run. But we've been pretty good about managing everything, our bills and everything. And so I've been able to come home more. And if it hadn't been for this little bad streak that I'm having right now, where I've had to put so much money into the truck, I was going to take probably a big hunk of the summer off, But now I'll probably be working through the summer. But that's the way it works sometimes. You just have to roll with the punches and don't give up and be determined that you're going to succeed. And you can do it, A wise man once told me, what is it? The 3 Ds: desire, dedication, determination. If you got the 3 Ds, you can make it. And that man is just down the road here in Lexington, North Carolina. So anyway, that's the way I approach everything that I'm doing right now. As I know that I can make this work. I bought my first truck in 2012. This will be the 3rd different truck I've bought. And I've never not paid one off. The previous 2 I paid off, so I'll pay this one off too, Of course, the second one was a lot easier to pay off. Insurance helped me with that when it burned up. But what I'm saying is I can make this work, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep pushing forward. And right now it's just hard for everybody, So we just got to not give up. That's what I tell everybody. I said, don't give up. Keep pushing forward. You can make it. So thank you for the heads up there, Daniel. I know I got to get going. Make room for Pale Rider. The big show's coming on. Y'all make sure you tune in for Pale Rider. It's going to be awesome. I think this is going to be, is this the 2nd episode? Is it Pale Rider, the 2nd episode of the Pale Rider TV show? Pale Rider TV trucking show, something like that. You got to tell me exactly what it is so I get it right. But I don't know, Big Houston. I doubt I'll go live that often, just because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. Last time I checked, I had about 658. So maybe I'll pick up a couple of extra ones after all this, and maybe eventually get up to 1,000. I can see myself going live more once I hit 1,000 subscribers, just because I can do it from my phone instead of my laptop. And most of you probably have realized, I hope you have anyway, it looks like it from looking at a lot of my view counts on my videos. Pause here, start over. Hey, Paul. Paul was one of the original subscribers way back in the day. He's been with me for a long time when I first started the channel. So thanks, Paul, for showing up. I appreciate it. But it's just, I've been uploading videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Well, today's Friday, and it is episode 2 right here. Okay. It's Friday, and I had no content. I had no video to upload. So because all this stuff is going on with the truck, I did a little clip here and there, but it just wasn't anything that I wanted to upload right now. And I wanted to give everybody an update on the truck, let everybody know what's going on with the truck. So I thought maybe this would be the easiest, quickest way to do it, and also get everybody riled up and ready to go for Pale Rider tonight. I'll actually get to watch it, the whole thing, and not miss any of it. Because when I'm at the house and he goes live, I miss a lot of it because our internet out there is terrible. I know, Big Houston. I have the Prism downloaded. I just every time I try to use it, it gets squirrely on me. So I don't know. I'm not real good at that. Okay, yeah, Big Houston has a video coming out tomorrow, so y'all look for that. And Big Houston now, and y'all should go over and subscribe to him. He's a company driver, but he has a unique situation over there where he's at with the company he's with, and hopefully he'll talk more about it and everything. And so y'all go check him out on his YouTube channel. And God and Country Family Trucking, Chucky, he's needs to start putting out more videos. He doesn't put out near enough. So put out more videos, Chucky. And of course, y'all saw where I got to meet up with Chasing America. And they're a really cool couple. Getting to talk to them was real fun. I know I probably missed a lot of comments, and if I did, I apologize. I'm a rookie at this going live thing, so I try not to screw it up too bad. But I'm pretty sure I missed some comments. And if I did, I apologize. Please don't take it personally. Like I said, I'm just still trying to learn this whole thing of doing it, and I'll probably get better in the future, I hope. Hi, John Armstrong. What's up, Bubba? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and give everybody a chance to go use the bathroom, get your snacks ready. I got to get my snacks ready. Okay, just one quick note. So we're here in North Carolina, right? And they're still not up like Florida is up. In Florida, you can go into a restaurant, sit down and eat, right? Not so here. They still have the places where you eat blocked off. You can only get takeout or delivery, you know. So I didn't bring any food from the truck because I didn't know for sure. I actually made a boo-boo. The hotel I was wanting to stay at is next door, and I didn't even look at the top banner to see or the name on the hotel when I walked in the door. The guy dropped me off at the door here. I just walked in and got a room, and I didn't even think about it until I had walked across the street over to the store. And when I was coming back, I looked and I was like, oh, crap, there's the hotel I was wanting to stay in. I was like, that explains why it costs $20 more than what it said online. I'm at the wrong motel. But anyway, it's still a nice motel. But even at the hotel, there's no breakfast, no nothing. You know, I think they got coffee. So I'll probably go get a little coffee in the morning. And then after checkout, take the Uber home or to the shop. And hopefully the truck will be ready. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank everybody so much. I really appreciate y'all showing up like this and supporting me on my first live feed. And I'll try to see about getting the posting it so it'll be like a replay where you can, if you want to go back and watch it, if you missed it, parts of it or something, you can do that. And man, I sure would appreciate it. But like I said, I have some of the best subscribers, man. You guys, y'all always leave such great comments and well wishes and everything else. So I really, really, really appreciate it. Yes, Chasing America, I did get pizza delivered, but I've had to do this before, way back in the day when I used to be on the Atkins diet back in the day. I don't eat the crust. So I get all the good toppings, you know, the meat, the veggies, and all that good stuff, and I eat that. You know, and I always do like hardly no sauce, like really light on the sauce. So yeah, I eat the veggies and leave the crust. I know if I had Ducky here, he'd be going to town on some crust, wouldn't he? All right, so we got 5 minutes till Pale Rider goes live. Y'all get your snacks, get everything set up and ready to go. Watch Pale Rider, and we'll see who his special guest is tonight. I have no idea who it's going to be. He has not even. No, it's not this week. It's next week. Okay, never mind. I know who next week's guest is. I don't know who this week's one is. So that'll be a surprise for me too. I don't know if he said who it's going to be. I don't think he has. But my wife just asked me about the coffee. I do have a coffee pot in the room, but I didn't think about that. I would have brought my coffee out of the truck. I could make coffee here in the room. I didn't think about it. But anyway, Hank Smith. What's up, Hank? So anyway, y'all do all that. Get ready for Pale Rider. And like I said, look for Monday. We'll have a big vlog coming up Monday. And also some other things that are going to be coming up next week, I hope, is a retort video to another YouTuber over here at Landstar that didn't have a lot of super great things to say about Landstar, but he's still working here, I guess. Anyway, I just want to give some contrast to some numbers that he gave so people can see how I'm doing versus how he was saying that he was doing. So I'm hoping to try to get that out next week, maybe. So I'm not promising, but I'll do my best. So anyway, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a great night. Go check out Pale Rider. And don't forget our motto, because everybody knows it that watches my channel. Don't haul no cheap freight. All right? All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all stay safe and have a great, great, great weekend. All right? Talk to y'all later.